Hello guys, welcome back to Boring Historian. Tonight we're diving headfirst into the surprisingly fascinating world of Aztec sleep. Imagine yourself nestled amongst fragrant herbs, the scent of cacao weaving through the night air, the distant sounds of a bustling city lulling you into a deep, dream-filled slumber. What you're about to hear might stick with you if you're picking up what I'm putting down. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Let me know where you're listening from and what time it is for you right now. Alright, find your quiet space, let the outside world fade, and let's begin our journey. You are an honored guest, a member of the Aztec elite, and tonight you're experiencing the opulence of a sleep temple unlike any you've ever imagined. The air is thick with the scent of copal incense, a sweet, earthy aroma that soothes your senses and prepares you for the journey into dreamland. You lie upon meticulously woven petate, a sleeping mat made of reeds, far softer than it sounds. Think of a high-end, handcrafted mattress, but natural. Above you, the intricate carvings on the ceiling depict celestial bodies, their positions carefully aligned to enhance your sleep cycle. Historians still argue whether this was purely decorative or held deeper astrological significance. It's a little bit of both, probably. The petate isn't just any mat. It's adorned with intricately embroidered cotton textiles, vibrant with colors that speak of sun-drenched days and starlit nights. It's softer than the finest silk you can imagine, cooler than any modern linen sheets, and it perfectly cradles your body. Your pillows, plump with soft feathers, feel like fluffy clouds beneath your head. These aren't your average pillows, of course. They are expertly crafted, filled with the down of rare birds. Think of the finest goose down, but way more luxurious. The pillowcases are embroidered with symbols of protection, designed to ward off any nocturnal disturbances, both physical and spiritual. You lie on your side, a common sleeping position for the Aztec elite, a position believed to promote spiritual connection during sleep. Your body sinks into the comfort, the soft textiles cradling you in a warm embrace. You notice the intricate patterns on your blanket, beautiful, calming swirls of colors that shift and change depending on the candlelight. This isn't just about comfort, you realize. It's about ritual. This is a sacred space, and your sleep is a sacred act. Each detail, from the placement of your feet always facing the sunrise, apparently, and don't ask why, to the direction of your head, has a deep-rooted symbolic meaning connected to the cosmos, life, and dreams. And speaking of dreams, you sense the presence of a small, intricately carved jade jaguar figurine resting on your chest. It's smooth and cool to the touch, a comforting weight against your skin, almost magically inviting sweet dreams. It's a good luck charm, of course. Everyone knows that, or almost everyone. A quirky little fact: some researchers suggest that similar jade figurines, often found in tombs, might be related to dreaming or even sleep paralysis, given their position. The temple walls are cool against your skin as a gentle breeze weaves through the carefully placed openings, carrying the scent of the nearby gardens, the sounds of crickets chirping, and the rustling leaves whispering secrets only the night understands. You close your eyes, sinking deeper into the luxurious comfort. The weight of the jaguar feels grounding, the incense soothing, the sounds calming. This is more than just a bedroom. It's a sanctuary designed for the perfect night's rest. The darkness is not empty. It's full of the subtle energies of the cosmos, flowing gently around you. The scent of copal incense fades slightly, replaced by a gentler, sweeter fragrance, the subtle aroma of a calming herbal infusion. Clay cup sits beside your petate, steaming gently. This isn't just any tea. It's a carefully prepared concoction designed to lull you into a deep and restful sleep. The Aztecs were masters of herbal remedies, you remember, using plants not only for medicine, but also for promoting peaceful slumber. This particular blend includes a mix of calming herbs known for their soothing properties. Perhaps a touch of toloash datura for its mild sedative effect, but only a tiny bit, mind you. It's potent stuff. Combined with chamomile-like flowers for a soothing effect. Maybe some hierba del sueño, sleep herb for extra relaxation. The exact recipe is lost to history, unfortunately. Historians still argue whether the specific blend varied based on social standing or individual needs. You sipped the warm liquid. The taste surprisingly pleasant. It's not overly sweet, but rather subtly bitter, earthy, and comforting. The liquid slides down your throat, a warm river flowing into your core, easing the tension in your muscles and calming your mind. As you savor the brew, you recall the stories you've heard of the Aztecs' ingenious methods for creating sleep-promoting balms. These weren't simply thrown together. They were meticulously crafted using specific plants, oils, and other ingredients with an understanding of their synergistic properties, way ahead of their time. Imagine the process. Skilled herbalists grinding herbs to a fine powder, blending them with fragrant oils like avocado and cacao butter, adding perhaps a touch of honey or beeswax for texture. These balms weren't just for the body. They were also a spiritual experience. The scent and texture designed to relax the senses and invite a deeper connection to the spiritual world. You apply a small amount of a fragrant balm to your temples and wrists a light touch, enough to leave a subtle, comforting scent on your skin. It smells earthy and floral, vaguely familiar but also uniquely alien, utterly transporting you to this place and time. The scent itself is almost hypnotic, subtly carrying you further into the realm of sleep. The balm itself is a concoction of natural ingredients, perhaps a base of cacao butter, blended with ground hierba scent, a holy herb known for its relaxing properties. Maybe a little bit of ground tlenchichi, which was surprisingly used in various preparations, from religious ceremonies to apparently sleep aids, and possibly even a hint of copal resin for its earthy, grounding fragrance. You feel the balm's cool touch on your skin, a comforting weight that seems to melt away stress and tension. It's strangely grounding. The combination of the slightly bitter herbal scent and the rich, smooth texture creates a deep sense of calm. A quirky side note. Some scholars believe that the Aztecs may have also used certain mushrooms with sleep-inducing properties. This aspect of their herbal practices remains quite obscure, shrouded in mystery and speculation. However, considering their deep knowledge of their surroundings and the potent properties of the flora around them, it wouldn't be surprising if they'd found ways to employ more exotic plants for various uses. The potential for such discoveries is quite intriguing to modern ethnobotanists. As the balm's soothing aroma fills your senses, and the herbal tea's warmth spreads throughout your body, you feel yourself drifting toward the peaceful embrace of sleep. The gentle sounds of the night, the comforting weight of the jaguar figurine, the soft texture of your pitate, and the aromatic bliss of the herbal remedies all combine to create a perfect symphony of relaxation. Sleep, it seems, wasn't merely a state of rest for the Aztecs. It was a sacred practice, an art form that they mastered with both precision and reverence. The herbal tea's warmth has faded, its soothing effects lingering as a gentle hum within you. You're sinking into a deep, dreamless sleep, but a subtle shift in the air, a barely perceptible change in the surrounding energy, awakens a flicker of consciousness. You find yourself on the cusp of dreaming, the liminal space between wakefulness and sleep, a place where the veil between worlds thins. The Aztecs understood this space profoundly, believing dreams held powerful insights into the future, reflections of the spiritual realm, and even messages from the gods. They didn't dismiss dreams as mere fantasies. They considered them potent tools for understanding the universe and themselves. You remember hearing stories of their intricate system of dream interpretation, where every symbol, every sensation, held a significant meaning. A flying jaguar might signify a journey of transformation. A serpent could represent healing or danger, and the sun could herald success or warn of impending misfortune. The interpretation wasn't arbitrary. It was a complex system interwoven with their cosmology, their understanding of nature, and their spiritual beliefs. Historians still argue whether individual dream interpreters held official positions or whether dream interpretation was more of a communal practice. My bet is a bit of both. It's never that simple, is it? And it wasn't just about understanding dreams. The Aztecs also developed rituals to influence them. Before sleep, they might offer prayers to specific deities associated with dreams, perhaps leaving small offerings or performing cleansing rituals to purify their minds and bodies, ensuring a clear channel for receiving divine messages. Imagine preparing a small offering of copal incense and flowers, placing them on a small altar by your bed, whispering your hopes and concerns to the gods, asking for guidance and protection during your sleep. It's a deeply personal yet communal practice. The very act of preparing the offering itself becomes a form of meditation, clearing the mind and preparing it for the journey into the dream world. You recall hearing a story, perhaps a slightly exaggerated one, told around a crackling fire, under a starlit sky off a skilled dream interpreter, using an obsidian mirror to interpret the swirling images and symbols reflected within the polished surface. The mirror, with its dark, reflective surface, wasn't just a tool. It was a portal, reflecting not only the physical world, but also the hidden landscapes of the dreamer's subconscious. The dream interpreter, a figure of immense respect within the community, would gaze into the obsidian mirror, their mind attuned to the subtle energies of the dreamscape, guiding the dreamer toward a deeper understanding of their subconscious world. The obsidian mirror is more than just a pretty object, of course. It was also a powerful symbol, embodying the dualities of darkness and light, reflection and reality, the seen and the unseen. It was believed to hold a mystical power, capable of reflecting the hidden meanings concealed within dreams. In fact, this ties in with a quirky bit of information. Some researchers suggest that the obsidian mirrors may have been used not only for dream interpretation, but also for inducing altered states of consciousness, acting as a sort of focusing tool for shamanistic practices. And as you drift deeper into sleep, the boundaries between dreams and reality start to blur, the line between the waking world and the dream world becoming increasingly indistinct. You find yourself suspended in a liminal space, poised between the tangible and the intangible, where the whispers of the night merge with the images of your dreams, guiding you gently toward the profound mystery of sleep. The Aztecs wouldn't just interpret dreams, they'd actively engage with them, preparing themselves for the experience through ritual and understanding. A skill we could probably all benefit from. The transition from waking consciousness to dream is seamless, a gentle glide into a world of shimmering images and ethereal sounds. Yet, even in this liminal space, you are acutely aware of the rhythms of the Aztec night. The quiet hum of the city, a distant chorus of crickets, the soft rustle of leaves. These are not mere background noises. They are the soundtrack to your sleep, each sound meticulously woven into the fabric of your nightly ritual. For the Aztecs, sleep wasn't simply a biological necessity. It was a sacred act, a journey into the spirit world, and a communion with the gods. You remember the stories told around crackling fires, tales of elaborate nightly rituals designed to ensure a peaceful and restorative slumber. Before retiring, the Aztecs often performed cleansing rituals, purifying their bodies and minds to prepare for the journey into the dream world. Imagine yourself carefully washing your face and hands, using a fragrant herbal wash to cleanse away the day's impurities, both physical and spiritual. The act is meditative, a slow, deliberate ritual that allows the stresses and anxieties of the day to gently slip away. You feel the cool water washing over your skin, the subtle scent of the herbs calming your senses, preparing you for the deep relaxation that follows. This cleansing ritual isn't just about cleanliness. It's about preparing your spirit for the night's journey. You then might carefully brush your teeth with a twig, a seemingly simple action imbued with symbolic meaning. You think of the ancient herbalists and healers, crafting herbal washes and toothbrushes from natural materials, infusing everyday actions with a reverence for nature and the interconnectedness of all things. This isn't just hygiene. It's a spiritual preparation for the night. After the cleansing, you recall the stories of offerings made to the gods, small acts of devotion designed to ensure protection and guidance during sleep. Imagine placing a small bowl of copal incense near your sleeping mat, the sweet, earthy aroma filling the air with its calming fragrance. This isn't mere incense. It's a sacred offering, a prayer to the gods, a plea for protection and peaceful slumber. The smoke curls upwards, carrying your wishes to the celestial realm. Along with the incense, a small offering of food might be presented. Perhaps some fruit, a bit of freshly baked bread, or a small cup of cacao. These are not mere snacks. They are tokens of gratitude, presented with reverence and respect. A gesture of communion with the divine. You carefully arrange the small offerings, placing them near your jade jaguar, the combined scents and images creating a serene and peaceful atmosphere. It's a quiet act of devotion, a gentle nod to the unseen forces that shape the night and guide your dreams. A quirky detail often overlooked. While offerings to gods are well known, historians still argue whether certain nocturnal rituals were more focused on appeasing potentially malevolent spirits, or simply ensuring a peaceful night's sleep. This blurring of lines between religious practice and everyday life is indicative of the deeply spiritual nature of Aztec culture. It's all connected: the everyday and the sacred. You now understand that sleep wasn't just a state of rest for the Aztecs. It was an integral part of their spiritual and social lives. The nightly rituals, the cleansing practices, the offerings to the gods, these weren't mere superstitions. They were carefully crafted practices designed to enhance sleep, promote well-being, and foster connection to the spiritual realm. The combination of physical cleansing, spiritual devotion, and the soothing power of nature's rhythms created a nightly symphony of relaxation, a carefully orchestrated prelude to the sacred journey into the dream world. The scent of copal incense and the subtle fragrance of your herbal balm mingle with a new, richer aroma, the intoxicating scent of cacao. A small, intricately carved wooden cup sits beside your plate, filled with a steaming, dark liquid. This isn't your average hot chocolate. This is documentaries, the sacred beverage of the Aztecs, a drink imbued with both ritual significance and surprisingly calming properties. You remember hearing that the Aztecs didn't just drink cacao for pleasure. They understood its potential to aid sleep. Think of it as the ancient equivalent of a sophisticated nighttime ritual drink. You carefully lift the cup to your lips, savoring the rich, complex flavor. It's not overly sweet. It's slightly bitter, earthy, and intensely flavorful. The drink is far more complex than modern hot chocolate, a far cry from the sugary concoctions we often associate with cacao today. The Aztecs didn't add copious amounts of sugar. They enhanced the bitter notes of the cacao with spices, herbs, and chili peppers, creating a beverage that was both stimulating and surprisingly calming, a unique balance that aided sleep rather than keeping you awake. The chocolatl you are drinking tonight includes a careful blend of spices, possibly a touch of chili pepper for a subtle warmth, which some researchers suggest acted as a mild natural sedative. Maybe a hint of vanilla for its calming effect, and a hint of vanilla for its calming effect. Potentially even some ground flowers for an additional layer of flavor and aroma. The exact recipe, of course, varied according to the occasion, individual preference, and social standing, a bit like a personalized sleep potion tailored to your specific needs. Historians still argue whether the specific blend altered the drink's sleep-inducing qualities, or if the effect was mostly tied to the cacao itself. The warmth of the xocolitl spreads through your body, easing the tension in your muscles and calming your mind. As you sip the rich, dark liquid, you recall the stories you've heard of the Aztecs' reverence for cacao, a sacred plant revered for its medicinal and spiritual properties. It wasn't just a drink. It was a symbol of power, wealth, and divinity, a gift from the gods, and, surprisingly, a sleep-inducing beverage. And its sleep-promoting qualities weren't just a coincidence. They were actively embraced and utilized by the Aztecs. The cacao bean itself, with its natural theobromine, contains compounds that act as natural relaxants and mood stabilizers, a gentle nudge toward serenity. It's not a strong sedative, but rather a subtle facilitator of relaxation, a harmonious blend that allows your body and mind to unwind naturally and gradually sink into a deeper state of repose. A slightly quirky detail. Some scholars suggest that the specific preparation methods used by the Aztecs, the precise roasting, grinding, and blending of ingredients enhanced the sleep-promoting properties of the cacao, essentially boosting its gosh, naturally calming qualities. Imagine the ritual itself, a deeply significant act that adds another layer to the already deeply spiritual aspects of the xocolitl experience. As the last drops of xocolitl disappear, you realize that this wasn't just a drink. It was a ritual, a carefully orchestrated part of a grander nightly ceremony, a blend of physical comfort, spiritual practice, and the subtle yet potent properties of nature itself. The complex blend of ingredients, the precise preparation, and the reverence with which it was consumed all contributed to its calming effect, gently lulling you into the embrace of sleep. You sense the combined effects of the herbal tea, the calming balm, the carefully prepared cacao, all working together in a harmonious symphony of relaxation, guiding you towards a tranquil and deeply restorative sleep. The last of the xocolitl warms your belly, a gentle heat spreading through you as you drift towards sleep. But before you fully succumb to slumber, a shift in the night air catches your attention. A soft hoot echoes from the darkness beyond your temple walls, the cry of a great horned owl, its call cutting through the stillness of the night. The Aztecs didn't dismiss such sounds as mere background noise. To them, nocturnal animals held deep symbolic meaning, their presence often intertwined with dreams and the mysteries of the night. Owls in particular were often associated with wisdom, prophecy, and the ability to see beyond the veil of ordinary perception, kind of like a nocturnal shaman. The owl's hoot isn't disturbing. It's almost comforting. It's a part of the nighttime symphony, a sound that blends seamlessly with the other nocturnal whispers, blending with the gentle rustling of leaves and the distant chirping of crickets. You think of the intricate stories woven around owls in Aztec mythology, tales of feathered messengers who carry secrets from the spirit world, delivering messages from the gods or revealing glimpses into the future. They weren't afraid of the dark. They understood its power, its mystery, and its potential for revealing hidden truths. Then, a different sound breaks the night's stillness, a low growl, a deep rumble that vibrates through the ground, emanating from somewhere deep within the surrounding forest. This is no ordinary animal. This is a jaguar, its presence a potent force in the Aztec imagination. Unlike the owl's wise hooting, the jaguar's presence evokes both awe and a sense of primal power. Remember the jade jaguar figurine resting on your chest? Its presence isn't merely decorative. It serves as a reminder of the jaguar's significance in Aztec culture. The jaguar, a creature of the night, was seen as a powerful symbol of strength, magic, and the ability to traverse the boundaries between worlds, a bit like a dream-walking guard. Its connection to the night, its prowess as a hunter, and its elusive nature imbued it with mystical power. its image appearing frequently in Aztec art and mythology. It represented not just the physical world, but also the hidden energies of the spirit world. Historians still argue whether the jaguar held more significance as a symbol of power or a connection to the underworld. The answer, it seems, is probably both. Think of the Aztec myths and legends woven around the jaguar tales of shape-shifting jaguars, guardians of the night, and spirits who guide the souls of the dead to the underworld. These aren't just scary stories. They are deeply symbolic narratives, reflections of the Aztec understanding of the power and mystery of the night, reflecting the mysteries that unfold in dreams, the potential for transformation, and the thelious interconnectedness of all living things. A quirky detail. Some researchers suggest that the prevalence of jaguar imagery in Aztec sleep-related artifacts might be related to experiences of sleep paralysis. The vivid hallucinations and intense sensory experiences often associated with sleep paralysis could have been interpreted as encounters with the spirit world, with the jaguar acting as a potent symbol of this liminal state between waking and dreaming. Imagine experiencing sleep paralysis under a starlit sky and suddenly seeing a jaguar's eyes glowing in the darkness, a terrifying, yet awe-inspiring experience that could deepen the belief in the jaguar's mystical powers. As the owl's hoots fade into the distance and the jaguar's growl subsides, you feel a deep sense of connection to the natural world, a sense that you are a part of something larger than yourself. The sounds of the night, once merely background noise, now become a comforting lullaby, a gentle reminder of the powerful energies that surround you as you drift towards sleep. The night, with its shadows and its mysteries, is not something to be feared. It's a world of wonder, full of secrets and hidden meanings. A world that the Aztecs understood far better than we might initially assume. The sounds of the night fade, replaced by a gentle sense of drowsiness. You sink deeper into your pitate, the soft reeds cradling you like a warm embrace. But as you drift towards sleep, a thought crosses your mind. Your sleeping arrangements, while luxurious, are far different from those of other Aztecs. Your experience as a member of the elite is a stark contrast to the sleeping arrangements of commoners. You remember seeing the simple sleeping mats of the commoners plain, unadorned patates, often woven from readily available reeds or grasses. These weren't luxurious. They were functional, providing a basic level of comfort for those who worked tirelessly in the fields or toiled in the city's bustling markets. Think of a slightly less comfortable camping mat functional, but without any of the fancy embroidery or feather-filled pillows you have. These weren't merely sleeping mats. They were often rolled up during the day, serving as portable beds that could be easily moved from one place to another. Imagine a life where your bed is also your travel companion. It's a simple life, a nomadic life, in a way, with the necessities of life close at hand. These plain patates are also a testament to the ingenuity and resourcefulness of the Aztec commoners who crafted them. Historians still argue whether the variation in sleeping mats reflected regional differences or purely economic distinctions. It's probably a bit of both. Unlike your richly decorated sleeping mat, theirs were simply woven, with little to no embellishment. Yet, even in their simplicity, these mats served their purpose, providing a place to rest after a long day's work. They were made from readily available materials, reflecting the close relationship the Aztecs had with their natural environment. It's a reminder that even the most basic necessities were treated with respect and care. They were made to last, and they were a vital part of daily life. The contrast between your own opulent sleeping arrangements and those of the commoners highlights the vast social stratification within Aztec society. Your sleep temple, with its intricate carvings, soft textiles, and calming scents, was a privilege afforded only to the elite. For the commoners, Sleep was a necessary respite, a period of rest after a long and arduous day. Their sleeping arrangements were practical, functional, and a direct reflection of their social standing and economic circumstances. Then you recall the slightly more comfortable arrangements of the artisan class. Slightly thicker patates, sometimes with a simple woven cover. Think a step up from a basic camping mat to a better quality one. Maybe some cotton padding for extra softness. A few extra comforts, but still functional and simple. These artisans were crucial to Aztec society, and their work required a degree of skill and precision. It wasn't a life of luxury, but it allowed for more comfort than the very basic sleeping arrangements of the quirky detail. Some researchers suggest that sleeping arrangements were also influenced by family structure, with extended families often sharing sleeping spaces. This is an important reminder that the idea of individual bedrooms and private sleep is a modern concept. As you drift further into slumber, you realize that even the simple sleeping arrangements of the commoners held a certain dignity and simplicity, reflecting the Aztecs' deep respect for the natural world and their appreciation for functional beauty. A stark contrast to our modern obsession with luxury and excess. It's a lesson in appreciating the essentials, a gentle reminder to focus on the quiet dignity of rest. The gentle rhythm of your breathing slows, your body sinking deeper into the comforting embrace of your pate. But even as you drift towards sleep, a sense of wonder lingers, a subtle awareness of the vast cosmos stretching above you, its silent influence permeating the very fabric of your being. The Aztecs weren't just grounded in the earthly realm. They understood the profound connection between sleep, dreams, and the celestial bodies that governed their lives. Their cosmology wasn't merely a system of belief. It was a framework for understanding the world, including the very act of sleeping. Remember those intricate carvings on your temple ceiling? Those weren't simply decorative. They were a deliberate arrangement of celestial symbols, strategically placed to align with the movements of the stars and planets. The Aztecs believed that the celestial bodies held a profound influence over human life, impacting everything from agriculture and warfare to the very rhythms of sleep and dreaming. Imagine the moon, a silent sentinel in the night sky, its silvery glow casting long shadows across your temple walls. The Aztecs associated the moon with feminine energy, with the cycles of nature, and with the ebb and flow of emotions and dreams. They believed that its gravitational pull influenced not only the tides, but also the rhythms of the human body, impacting sleep cycles and dream intensity. The full moon, in particular, was often associated with heightened dream activity and heightened emotional sensitivity. Then, consider the sun, the life-giving force that dominates the daytime sky. Its fiery presence, a source of energy and vitality. Yet, for the Aztecs, the sun's influence extended beyond daylight hours. They believed that the sun's energy, even at night, continued to impact human consciousness, influencing dreams and the very quality of sleep. The sun wasn't just a physical entity. It held spiritual significance, a potent symbol of life and death, renewal and rebirth. It was also intimately tied to dreams and visions. Think of the stars, countless pinpricks of light scattered across the night sky. The Aztecs saw the stars not as mere celestial bodies, but as divine entities, each possessing its unique power and influence. They believed that the patterns formed by the stars, the constellations, impacted the energies of the night, influencing dreams and shaping human destinies. It's a little like having your own personal, cosmic horoscope impacting your night's rest. And don't forget the planets, those wandering stars that moved across the celestial canvas. The Aztecs were keen observers of the night sky, meticulously charting the movements of the planets and associating them with various deities and natural phenomena. They recognized that these celestial bodies influenced the ebb and flow of cosmic energy, influencing earthly events, impacting human lives, and affecting the quality of sleep. Historians still argue whether the specific alignment of celestial bodies held a direct causal link to dream content or sleep cycles, or whether it was more of a symbolic representation of the interconnection between the earthly and the cosmic realms. The answer is probably a bit of both, as the lines between symbolism, ritual, and actual astronomical observation were often blurred in Aztec culture. A quirky detail. Some researchers suggest that the Aztecs may have used astronomical observations to predict periods of heightened dream activity or potential sleep disturbances, using celestial events to guide their daily routines and even their nightly rituals. Imagine adjusting your sleep schedule based on the phases of the moon or the position of certain constellations. As you drift deeper into sleep, the images of the cosmos blend seamlessly with the images of your dreams. The moon, the sun, the stars, and the planets become interwoven with the symbols and landscapes of your subconscious, creating a rich, vibrant dreamscape where the earthly and celestial realms intermingle, blurring the boundaries between the waking celestial realms world and the world of dreams. The celestial tapestry above fades, replaced by the quiet darkness of your sleep temple. Yet, even in the deepest slumber, a restless energy lingers, the phantom sensation of sleeplessness. Imagine, for a moment, the frustration of a sleepless night in ancient Tenochtitlan. The Aztecs weren't immune to insomnia. Sleep disorders, like in any culture, were part of the human experience, but unlike our modern reliance on pharmaceuticals, the Aztecs addressed these issues with a combination of natural remedies and spiritual practices, blending the earthly and the ethereal to find solace in slumber. You recall stories whispered around campfires, tales of herbal concoctions designed to soothe restless minds and weary bodies. Imagine a different herbal infusion, a more potent brew than the one you enjoyed earlier. This wasn't a simple tea. It was a carefully crafted blend of herbs, known for their calming and sleep-inducing properties. This particular mix might include talosh datura, used in minuscule amounts for its sedative effects, carefully balanced with other herbs to mitigate its potent side effects. The precise ratios were closely guarded secrets, passed down through generations of healers and herbalists. Perhaps some hierba del sueño, sleep herb, or something akin to chamomile, would be included for its gentle, soothing effects. Other herbs, with their unique properties, might be added, creating a custom blend tailored to the individual's needs and the nature of their sleeplessness. The preparation itself was a ritual, a careful process that imbued the brew with a deeper spiritual significance. And it wasn't just about herbal remedies. The Aztecs understood the power of spiritual practices to combat insomnia. They might have performed cleansing rituals, purifying their minds and bodies to prepare for a restful night. Imagine a ritual bath, infused with calming herbs, followed by meditation. A clearing of the mind to quiet the internal chatter that often accompanies insomnia. The practice involved more than just physical cleansing. It was about preparing the spirit for slumber, creating a peaceful sanctuary for the mind to finally rest. The Aztecs also turned to prayer and offerings. Imagine the devout placement of small gifts before an altar dedicated to a specific deity associated with dreams or sleep. These weren't just passive acts. They were powerful prayers, requests for divine intervention, a plea for rest and peaceful slumber. It wasn't merely about asking for sleep. It was a request for spiritual guidance, a connection to a higher power that could bring peace and tranquility to a troubled mind. They'd call upon the gods to intervene, to help calm the troubled spirit and allow for peaceful rest. The use of obsidian mirrors also played a role in combating insomnia. Remember those reflective surfaces? They weren't just used for dream interpretation. They were believed to possess a mystical power that could soothe the mind and calm anxieties. Imagine gazing into the polished surface, seeking reflection not just in the mirror, but also within the self, finding a path to inner peace that could lead to restful slumber. A quirky tidbit: some researchers believe the Aztecs may have also utilized sound therapy, perhaps rhythmic chanting or the gentle sounds of nature, as a method for inducing sleep. The use of sounds to calm and soothe has deep roots in numerous cultures, and the Aztecs were certainly no exception. It wasn't just a matter of silencing external noises. It involved actively utilizing sound in a deliberate way to ease the mind into a state of rest. Historians still argue whether these practices were purely therapeutic or interwoven with deeply held spiritual beliefs. My bet is it was both. The lines were blurred, with the practical and the spiritual existing in harmonious interdependence. The Aztecs viewed their world holistically. The treatment of insomnia wasn't separated from their cosmology, their beliefs, and their understanding of the interconnectedness of all things. As you drift back into peaceful sleep, you carry the essence of these ancient practices within you, understanding the importance of a holistic approach to rest. The herbal remedies, the spiritual rituals, the use of obsidian mirrors, all combined to create a powerful symphony of relaxation, a gentle lullaby guiding you to a restful and restorative sleep. The secrets of ancient Aztec sleep offer us a window into a rich and complex world, a world that reminds us of the power of integrating the physical and spiritual for a peaceful and well-rested night. The image of peaceful slumber shifts, replaced by a jarring contrast, the chilling reality of human sacrifice within Aztec culture. It seems incongruous, doesn't it, to associate the tranquil serenity of sleep with the brutal act of sacrifice. Yet, for the Aztecs, the two were inextricably linked, woven together in a complex tapestry of beliefs and rituals. This isn't about gratuitous violence. It's about understanding a deeply complex worldview. You recall the stories, the whispered tales passed down through generations. Sleep, dreams, and sacrifice weren't separate entities. They were interconnected parts of a larger cosmic drama, a cycle of life, death, and rebirth. The Aztecs believed that dreams held powerful insights into the spiritual realm, offering glimpses into the future or messages from the gods. Sacrifice, in their worldview, wasn't simply a brutal act. It was a sacred ritual, a way to maintain cosmic balance and appease the gods. Think of the sacrifices as offerings, not just to please the deities, but to ensure the continuation of life itself. The victims weren't seen as mere victims. They were chosen individuals, often deemed worthy of offering their lives for the greater good. Their sacrifice a bridge between the earthly and the spiritual realms. It's a difficult concept to grasp from a modern perspective, certainly, but crucial to understanding the Aztec worldview. Historians still argue whether the selection process for sacrificial victims was purely ritualistic or involved some form of social judgment, probably a bit of both as usual. And the connection to sleep. The Aztecs believed that dreams could reveal the will of the gods, providing guidance or warnings about impending events. In some cases, it suggested that dreams might even influence the choice of sacrificial victims, with dreams revealing the individual deemed worthy to make the ultimate sacrifice. Imagine a dream as a divine communication, selecting the individual for this ultimate offering. This isn't pleasant, but it's a necessary element in understanding the culture. The ceremonies themselves were often elaborate affairs, involving complex rituals, prayers, and symbolic actions. The sacrifices weren't carried out hastily. They were carefully planned and executed, often taking place at specific times, under particular celestial alignments, and within designated sacred spaces, a mix of ritual and astrological considerations. The night played a significant role in these ceremonies. Many were conducted under the cloak of darkness, their secrecy amplifying the ritual's significance and connecting them more profoundly with the mysteries of the night and the underworld. A quirky detail: some scholars suggest that certain hallucinogenic plants may have played a role in these rituals, altering the perceptions of both the participants and the victims, blurring the lines between reality and the spiritual realm. These aren't just about violence. They were complex, meticulously planned religious ceremonies. Sleep, in this context, wasn't just a precursor to the ceremonies. It was a part of the larger ritualistic process. The night before the sacrifice, the selected individuals might have been given a special meal, possibly a final offering of sokolao, a last moment of ritualistic peace before their journey into the afterlife. It wasn't always a violent, horrific ending. It was often viewed as a spiritual transition. As you drift back to sleep, the unsettling image of human sacrifice lingers, reminding you of the complexities of Aztec culture. The seemingly contradictory relationship between the peaceful act of sleep and the brutal reality of human sacrifice highlights the challenges of understanding ancient cultures through a modern lens. It's a reminder that our judgments, based on contemporary ethical frameworks, aren't always sufficient for understanding vastly different cultural contexts. The Aztecs weren't barbarians. They were a highly sophisticated culture with a complex and deeply spiritual worldview. Their use of sleep and dreams within their worldview is profoundly different from how we might see it. The image of sacrifice fades, replaced by a vision of serenitized, lush, vibrant gardens of Xochicalco. You find yourself transported, not through a physical journey, but through the shifting landscapes of your dreams, now wandering through these legendary gardens, their beauty a soothing balm to your weary mind. Xochicalco, remember, wasn't just a city. It was a meticulously designed urban landscape, with its gardens playing a crucial role in the daily lives of its inhabitants. And sleep, it seems, was deeply connected to these peaceful oases. You stroll along winding paths, the air thick with the scent of fragrant flowers and herbs. Imagine the vibrant colors surrounding you. Bright bougainvillea, delicates, and the deep green of towering trees. The gardens weren't merely decorative. They were designed to promote relaxation and peaceful sleep. The Aztecs understood the power of nature to soothe the mind and body, creating spaces where the rhythms of the natural world could gently lull you into a state of deep repose. The design itself was masterful. The paths meander, avoiding sharp angles, creating a sense of calm and tranquility. Water features are strategically placed, the gentle sound of flowing water a soothing counterpoint to the rustling leaves and chirping birds. Imagine the coolness of the water on your skin, the sight of sparkling fountains, the sound of rushing water, all working together to create a peaceful environment conducive to rest. Specific plants were carefully chosen for their calming properties. Think of the soothing fragrance of herbs like chamomile or lavender, perhaps the equivalent in the Aztec flora. These plants weren't just pretty. They were actively utilized to enhance relaxation and promote restful sleep. The scent alone is enough to trigger a sense of calmness, a deep internal peace. Historians still argue whether the layout of the gardens at Xochicalco was intentionally designed to enhance sleep or simply reflected a general preference for aesthetically pleasing and naturally therapeutic environments. The blend of practical considerations and aesthetic preferences in the design suggests that it might be a combination of both. It's never just one thing, is it? Shady areas provide respite from the midday sun, creating cool retreats where you can rest and relax. Imagine escaping the heat of the day, finding a quiet corner under the shade of a large tree, the coolness of the earth beneath your feet, the gentle sway of branches above Yoa, natural sanctuary designed for relaxation and repose. The contrast between the bright sun and cool shade offers a welcome change, a transition that encourages relaxation. And it wasn't just about visual and olfactory stimulation. The gardens also appealed to the sense of touch. Imagine running your fingers over the smooth, cool surfaces of stones, the soft texture of moss, the rough bark of trees. Each tactile experience, a gentle reminder of the natural world's grounding power. This multi-sensory approach makes the garden a healing and restorative space. A quirky detail: some researchers believe that the gardens at Xochicalco may have also been used for medicinal purposes, with certain plants cultivated for their healing properties. and possibly used to treat sleep disorders. This blend of aesthetics and practicality highlights the Aztecs' holistic approach to health and well-being. As you wander further, you notice the careful integration of art and nature. Intricate carvings adorn the stones, depicting scenes of nature, mythical creatures, and celestial bodies. The art blends seamlessly with the landscape, enhancing the overall atmosphere of tranquility. The carvings themselves are both aesthetically pleasing and possibly imbued with symbolic meanings relating to the cosmos, life, death, and the cyclical nature of existence. You feel a deep sense of peace, a tranquil calm that settles over you. The Xochicalco gardens aren't just beautiful, they are therapeutic, promoting a sense of well-being that fosters restful sleep. The Aztecs' understanding of the interconnectedness of nature and human well-being is evident in every aspect of their garden design, a testament to their deep respect for the natural world and their ability to create spaces that nourish the mind, body, and spirit. The gardens themselves are a testament to the thoughtful, holistic approach the Aztecs took towards creating a harmonious existence. The tranquility of Xochicalco's gardens fades, replaced by a different kind of stillness, the hushed reverence of an Aztec myth. You find yourself drawn into a world of storytelling, where sleep isn't just a biological necessity, but a journey, a liminal space between worlds, and a bridge between life and death. The Aztecs weren't simply practical. They were storytellers, weaving intricate narratives that shaped their understanding of the world, including their perception of sleep. You recall the tales of Mictlantecuhtli, the fearsome god of the underworld, his realm a shadowy counterpart to the vibrant world of the living. Sleep, in Aztec mythology, wasn't merely a passive state. It was a journey into a realm not entirely dissimilar to Mictlan, a liminal space where the boundaries between worlds blurred, where dreams could be prophetic visions or warnings from the fey underworld itself. The realm of sleep was not without its dangers, its mysteries, and its potential for profound encounters. Imagine the stories told around crackling fires, tales of souls journeying into the underworld during sleep, encountering spirits and deities along the way. These weren't simply bedtime stories. They were symbolic narratives, reflecting the Aztec understanding of the cyclical nature of life and death, where sleep served as a temporary passage, a liminal state that connected the world of the living with the realm of the dead. The darkness wasn't feared, it was understood. And it wasn't just about Mictlan. The stories also spoke of other supernatural entities associated with sleep and dreams. Think of the spirits who guided dreams, the powerful figures who shaped the landscapes of the subconscious, influencing dream content and revealing hidden truths. These weren't always benevolent. Some were tricksters, others were guides, and some were simply enigmatic presences, reflecting the complex and often unpredictable nature of dreams themselves. The Aztecs didn't see dreams as merely random firings of neurons. They were meaningful events, messages from the gods, warnings of danger, or glimpses into the future. Their myths and legends reflected this, weaving intricate narratives that showed dreams as bridges to other realms, spaces where the veil between worlds thinned, and where the living could briefly glimpse the unseen. These weren't just fantasies. They were potent symbols of the Aztec worldview. Historians still argue whether these narratives served primarily as cautionary tales about the dangers of the night, or whether they acted more as explanations of natural phenomena and psychological experiences, such as dreams and sleep paralysis. Probably a mix of both. Once again, the lines between the pragmatic and the symbolic were often blurred in Aztec culture. A quirky detail: some researchers suggest that Aztec mythology may have influenced their sleeping practices, with certain rituals or beliefs designed to protect individuals from malevolent spirits or negative influences during sleep. Imagine the nightly rituals, not simply as comforting routines, but as protective measures against the unseen forces that could potentially disrupt the delicate balance of the night. It was a way to ensure that their nightly journeys weren't disrupted by unwanted encounters. You recall the image of the jade jaguar figurine, a powerful symbol of protection and the ability to navigate the boundaries between worlds. Its presence in sleep-related artifacts isn't merely coincidental. It's a powerful testament to the Aztec belief in the potent energies that permeate the night and the importance of maintaining a connection to the spiritual realm, even during sleep. The jaguar itself is a guardian, protecting the sleeper on their nocturnal journey. As you drift deeper into sleep, the stories of Aztec mythology intertwine with the landscapes of your dreams, the figures of the gods and spirits, merging seamlessly with the symbols and images of your subconscious. Sleep becomes a journey, a passage between worlds, a space where the living and the dead, the earthly and the spiritual intermingle, and the myths and legends of the Aztecs guide you gently towards the tranquility of slumber. The narratives themselves shape the very nature of their rest, imbuing their nightly journey with both mystery and meaning. The echoes of Aztec myths fade, replaced by the cool, smooth surface of obsidian. You awaken slightly, not fully awake, but in that liminal space between sleeping and waking, and you see it, a small, intricately carved obsidian mirror resting on your potato. It's not just a mirror, it's a portal, reflecting not only your physical form, but also the hidden landscapes of your dreams. The Aztecs understood the power of obsidian, its dark, reflective surface, a conduit to the unseen world. For them, it wasn't just a tool for dream interpretation. It was a sacred object, a symbol of both darkness and light, of mystery and revelation. You remember hearing stories of skilled dream interpreters, their eyes gazing into the polished surface, deciphering the swirling images and enigmatic symbols reflected within. The mirror wasn't simply reflecting, it was amplifying, intensifying, bringing the hidden layers of dreams to the surface. The dream interpreter, a respected figure within the community, would guide the dreamer through the labyrinthine pathways of their subconscious, unraveling the tangled threads of symbols and sensations, finding meaning in what might otherwise appear chaotic. Think of the process. The dreamer recounts their dreams, describing the vivid images, the emotions, and the sensations. The dream interpreter, their gaze fixed on the obsidian mirror, reflects those sensations in the depths of the mirror, guiding the dreamer towards a deeper understanding of their subconscious world. The reflective surface isn't just a passive observer. It's a catalyst, reflecting the dreamer's inner world and serving as a focal point for interpretation. Obsidian, with its dark, almost impenetrable depths, held a profound symbolic meaning for the Aztecs. It represented the unknown, the mysteries of the night, and the hidden realms of the subconscious. Yet, simultaneously, its polished surface reflected light, suggesting a connection to the world of the living, a bridge between the seen and the unseen. This duality, the darkness and the light intertwined, mirrored the very nature of dreamsa, blend of the familiar and the strange, the comforting and the unsettling. Historians still argue whether the use of obsidian mirrors in dream interpretation was a widespread practice or confined to specialized ritual contexts. It's possible that both were true. The sophistication of their understanding of the human mind and their mastery of natural materials suggest that the ritualistic use of obsidian mirrors was likely both an official and a personal practice. The mirror itself isn't simply a practical tool, but also a representation of the very nature of dreams. A quirky detail: some researchers suggest that the black color of obsidian, reminiscent of night and the underworld, may have heightened the sensory experience of dream interpretation, amplifying the mystical and even slightly uncanny aspects of the bygone Anoranio works shite. So the Vualgas process. The dark, almost hypnotic quality of the mirror might have helped to induce a state of heightened awareness, allowing the interpreter to better connect with the dreamer's subconscious. It's not just a pretty rock, it's a potent symbol. You run your fingers over the cool, smooth surface of the mirror, feeling its subtle energy. The obsidian's cold touch contrasts with the warmth of your petite, a gentle reminder of the duality that lies at the heart of dreams, the tension between wakefulness and sleep, consciousness and unconsciousness, the seen and the unseen. The mirror itself is a tactile experience as much as it is a visual one. This isn't just about seeing. It's about feeling, experiencing. And as you sink deeper into sleep, the obsidian mirror fades, replaced by the shifting landscapes of your dreams. The dark, reflective surface becomes a metaphor for the hidden depths of your subconscious, the symbols and images of your dreams reflecting back at you from the unseen realms within. The obsidian mirror doesn't simply interpret. It acts as a catalyst, bridging the gap between the waking and the dreaming world. It is a symbol of the mysteries yet to be revealed, and a reminder that even in our deepest slumber, the world continues, transforming and shifting under the surface of what we can fully perceive. The obsidian mirror's cool touch fades, replaced by the familiar warmth of your pate. But as you drift deeper into sleep, a thought lingers, the stark contrast in sleep patterns and practices across the various social strata of Aztec society. Your own luxurious sleep temple, with its meticulously crafted bedding and calming rituals, was a privilege afforded only to the elite. The lives of others, however, were vastly different, their sleep dictated by the demands of their social standing and economic circumstances. You remember the commoners, their lives a relentless cycle of labor, their sleep a necessary respite after a long day toiling in the fields or bustling markets, was often short, interrupted, and far from luxurious. Their sleeping mats, simple and functional, were rolled up during the day, serving as both bed and portable storage. Imagine the exhaustion, the lack of privacy, and the stark contrast to your own comfortable surroundings. For them, sleep was a basic necessity, a brief reprieve from the demands of daily life, rather than the sacred ritual it was for the elite. Their sleep patterns were dictated by the rhythms of agriculture and the demands of their work. They rose before dawn and often worked until nightfall, their sleep governed by the demands of their labor and the cycles of nature. There was little time for elaborate rituals or the luxury of extended rest. Their sleep, while essential, was profoundly different from that of the elite. Consider the artisans whose skills were crucial to Aztec society. Their lives were less physically demanding than the commoners, but still required long hours of work and intense focus. Their sleeping arrangements might have been a bit more comfortable, perhaps thicker patates, possibly with a simple woven cover. A small improvement, yet far from the opulence of the elite. Their sleep, while still a vital element of their lives, was dictated by the demands of their craft, still more functional than purely relaxing. The elite, on the other hand, approached sleep as a sacred act. Their sleep temples, like yours, were sanctuaries, meticulously designed to promote deep, restorative slumber. The soft textiles, carefully chosen herbs, and elaborate rituals all contributed to creating an environment conducive to peaceful sleep. Their sleep was a ritual, a practice imbued with spiritual significance, and a time for communion with the gods. They had the luxury of extended rest, the time for elaborate rituals, and the resources to create ideal sleeping environments. Historians still argue whether these differences in sleeping arrangements and practices reflected a conscious effort to create social distinctions, or were simply a natural consequence of economic disparities. It's likely a complex interplay of both deliberate social engineering alongside the simple reality of differing economic opportunities. A quirky detail: Some researchers suggest that differences in sleep patterns across social classes might also have influenced social interactions and even political power structures. The rested elite, with their renewed energy and clarity of mind, had a distinct advantage in matters of governance and social interaction. Rest itself, it seems, held a surprisingly important place within the wider dynamics of power and influence. As you drift further into sleep, you recognize the vast discrepancies in experiences, a reflection of the inherent inequalities within Aztec society. Your own privileged experience serves as a sharp reminder of the stark differences in access to rest, resources, and comfort. It wasn't just about sleep itself. It reflected the social structure, highlighting the vast chasm that separated the elite from the commoners. The differences are not mere conveniences. They reveal the complex interplay of social hierarchy, resource allocation, and daily realities within this ancient civilization. The very nature of rest, it seems, reveals a great deal about the nature of power. The stark contrast between Aztec social classes fade, replaced by a sense of calm, a quietude that speaks of deliberate relaxation. You are no longer just observing, you are experiencing. You are learning the Aztec art of relaxation, techniques designed not just to ease the body, but to quiet the mind, preparing it for the profound rest of sleep. The Aztecs, you now understand, didn't simply passively wait for sleep. They actively cultivated it, utilizing a variety of techniques to quiet the mind and soothe the body. Imagine yourself, after a long day, taking a moment to consciously slow your breath. The Aztecs weren't necessarily practicing formal meditation as we understand it today, but they understood the importance of controlled breathing to calm the mind and prepare for sleep. Think of it as a form of mindful breathing, a conscious effort to slow the pace of respiration, allowing the body and mind to gradually unwind. A slow, deep breath, in through the nose, out through the mouth, a simple yet surprisingly effective technique. Next, consider the soothing sounds of nature. You weren't simply surrounded by nature. You were actively using it to calm your senses. The gentle rustling of leaves, the chirping of crickets, the distant sounds of the city, these weren't merely background noise. They were integral parts of a carefully crafted soundscape, a natural lullaby designed to soothe the mind and lull you into a state of deep relaxation. The sounds themselves act as a gentle reset for the overstimulated mind. Then there's the power of touch. You recall the soft texture of your petate, the smooth coolness of the jade jaguar figurine, the subtle warmth of the herbal balm on your skin. These aren't accidental details. They're carefully chosen tactile experiences, each designed to calm the senses and soothe the nervous system. The tactile sensations themselves act as a kind of sensory anchor, grounding you in the present moment and preventing the mind from drifting into anxieties about the future or regrets about the past. And don't underestimate the power of scent. The fragrance of copal incense, the subtle aroma of herbal infusions, the rich scent of socolitl. These weren't just pleasant smells. They were carefully chosen olfactory experiences, each designed to calm the mind and promote relaxation. The Aztecs understood the powerful link between smell and memory, emotion, and mental state, intentionally employing scents to promote a sense of peace and tranquility. The scents themselves act as a form of aromatherapy, gently influencing mood and promoting relaxation. A quirky detail. Some scholars suggest that the Aztecs might have also utilized certain types of massage or other forms of bodywork to promote relaxation and ease muscle tension. While direct evidence is scarce, the Aztecs' deep understanding of the human body and their sophisticated knowledge of herbal remedies suggests that such practices weren't entirely outside the realm of possibility. This is not just about smelling good. It's about stimulating the senses in a way that promotes deep relaxation. Historians still argue whether these relaxation techniques were taught formally, passed down through generations of healers, or learned informally through observation and imitation. It's probably a combination of both. The knowledge of these methods wasn't hidden. It was an essential part of Aztec culture, woven into the fabric of daily life. The Aztec art of relaxation wasn't about escaping reality. It was about preparing for it. It was about harnessing the power of nature, the senses, and the mind to achieve a state of deep calm, a tranquil stillness that allowed the body and mind to fully rest and prepare for the rejuvenation of sleep. This conscious relaxation wasn't just a prelude to sleep. It was an integral part of the Aztec way of life, a way to engage consciously with the world and find balance even in the midst of daily struggle. The techniques themselves highlight a profound connection between the physical world, the senses, and the internal landscape of the mind. And as you sink deeper into sleep, you carry the essence of these techniques with you. A calming breath, a soothing scent, a grounding touch. The gentle rhythm of your breathing slows, the remnants of the Aztec relaxation techniques still lingering. But as you drift deeper into slumber, a new image emerges, a scene of childhood, a glimpse into the bedtime rituals and practices of Aztec children. It's a world far removed from your own privileged experience, a world where sleep was both a necessity and a deeply woven part of family life and cultural practices. You see a young child, nestled on a simple petate, their small body curled up in a tight ball. This isn't your luxurious bed. This is a plain mat, perhaps shared with siblings, their tiny forms huddled together for warmth and comfort. Their pillows are likely minimal, possibly a small bundle of soft cloths, or perhaps even just a rolled-up blanket. The sleeping arrangements are practical, prioritizing warmth and closeness rather than luxury. Unlike your carefully crafted bedtime rituals, the child's bedtime routine is likely far simpler. There might be a short lullaby sung by their mother, a gentle melody that soothes the child and prepares them for sleep. The lullaby is more than just a song. It's a bonding experience, a shared moment between parent and child, creating a sense of security and comfort before sleep. These simple moments, these quiet rituals, are what shape their nighttime experience. Then there's the use of calming herbal remedies. Imagine a small cup of a diluted herbal tea, perhaps a chamomile-like infusion, given to the child to ease them into sleep. The herbs aren't potent. They're gentle, carefully chosen to soothe rather than sedate, to promote a calm and peaceful transition into slumber. It's a natural, gentle approach to bedtime. It's not about drugging them. It's about easing them into rest. And it wasn't just about physical comfort. There's a strong emphasis on the spiritual. Before sleep, the child might be blessed by their parents, their small hands held, a prayer whispered over their head, asking for protection and guidance during the night. It's not just about ensuring a good night's sleep. It's about spiritual protection. It's about ensuring that their nocturnal journey is safe and guided. Historians still argue whether specific bedtime stories were used, or whether the lullabies themselves carried symbolic meaning, passing on cultural narratives and moral lessons in a subtle and comforting way. Probably, like so many other aspects of Aztec life, both methods were used. It's almost certainly a blend of both oral tradition and practical storytelling. The stories themselves act as a link to the wider world and beliefs of their culture. Quirky detail. Some researchers suggest that young children might have slept alongside their parents or in close proximity to other family members. This wasn't just about warmth. It was about creating a sense of security and closeness, comforting the child, and ensuring a sense of communal support during the night. It's a different kind of bedtime, highlighting a different type of family structure. The differences in sleep practices between the elite and the commoners, even within families, are significant. While the elite indulged in elaborate rituals and luxurious comforts, the lives of children in less privileged families were dictated by the realities of their circumstances. Their sleep, however, was far from lacking. It was defined by warmth, closeness, and the strength of family bonds, often in much closer quarters than our modern society allows. There's a sense of communal security inherent in their practices. As you drift deeper into sleep, the image of the Aztec child lingers, a reminder of the diverse ways in which different cultures approach sleep and the profound influence of social structures on even the most fundamental aspects of daily life. It's a reminder that even within a single culture, there's a great deal of variety in both approaches and experiences. The practices themselves, despite the differences in resources, all share the common goal of ensuring safe, comforting rest for the young. The image of the sleeping child fades, replaced by a vision of quiet dignity, an elderly Aztec, their face etched with the wisdom of years, their body bearing the weight of time. You find yourself observing, not intruding, witnessing the way the Aztecs cared for their elders and accommodated their changing sleep needs. It's a testament to the value they placed on experience and the respect they showed for those who had lived long lives. Unlike our modern world's sometimes isolated approach to elder care, the Aztecs integrated their elderly members fully into society. This isn't about institutionalized care. This is about community support. You see the elderly person resting on a slightly softer pite than that used by the average commoner. Perhaps a thicker mat with extra padding, or a slightly more comfortable arrangement of blankets. It's not luxurious by any means, but it's a clear indication of the community's concern for the increased physical needs of their elders. The emphasis is not on separating them, but accommodating their changing physical needs within existing family and communal structures. Their sleep, unlike that of younger adults, is often more fragmented. You notice that the elder doesn't necessarily sleep in the same uninterrupted stretches as others. Their sleep patterns are different, characterized by shorter periods of rest, more frequent awakenings, and a slower transition into and out of slumber. But these shifts aren't viewed as a problem. They're simply recognized as a natural part of the aging process. This isn't dismissed as a disorder. It's understood as an aspect of aging. The community responds to these changes with sensitivity and care. Family members, particularly adult children and grandchildren, actively participate in caring for the elderly, assisting with tasks such as preparing food and drinks and ensuring that their sleeping arrangements are as comfortable as possible. This isn't seen as a burden, but as an obligation. It's a way of showing respect for those who have nurtured and guided them through life. And what about bedtime? You see that herbal remedies, particularly calming infusions, are frequently used, but adjusted to suit their specific needs. These aren't potent sedatives. They're gentle remedies designed to ease discomfort, promote relaxation, and facilitate a more peaceful transition into sleep. The aim is not to force sleep, but to support and ease the process. Spiritual practices continue to play an important role. Prayers are offered, blessings are given, and the elders are surrounded by a sense of peace and security, often sharing stories and memories as they prepare for rest. The aim is not just to facilitate sleep, but to support a comforting, peaceful passing into rest. Historians still argue whether these practices were formalized or simply intuitive responses to the specific needs of aging individuals. Probably both. The practices are not based on rigid guidelines, but rather adapted according to individual needs and communal support. The care isn't impersonal. It's adapted to each person. A quirky detail. Some researchers suggest that certain aspects of Aztec mythology, particularly those related to ancestral spirits, might have played a role in shaping their approach to elder care. The respect shown to the elderly wasn't simply a social convention. It was intertwined with spiritual beliefs, seeing elders as repositories of wisdom and links to past generations. This is not just practicality. It's rooted in their beliefs. As you observe, you realize that the Aztec approach to caring for their elderly was far more integrated into the fabric of their society than our own modern practices. The elderly weren't relegated to separate institutions. They remained active participants in family life and community activities, their contributions valued, and their needs recognized and met with sensitivity and respect. It's a profound reflection on how we, as a modern society, could improve our own approaches to caring for our elders. As you drift back to sleep, the image of the peaceful elderly Aztec remains, a reminder of a time when respect for age and wisdom were deeply intertwined with the daily realities of life. The Aztecs understood that the elderly still had an important role to play, a significant role in the transmission of knowledge and the strengthening of community bonds. It's a profound reminder of the importance of community and the value of honoring those who have lived long and full lives. Their approach offers a profound contrast to our more isolated, institutionalized, modern approaches. The image of the elderly Aztec fades, replaced by a sudden jolt, a sensation of paralysis, a weight pressing down on your chest. You're awake, or perhaps not quite, caught in that unsettling liminal space between sleep and wakefulness. This isn't a dream. This is sleep paralysis, a common experience, yet deeply unsettling. The Aztecs, with their intimate understanding of the night and its mysteries, certainly experienced this phenomenon. But unlike our modern, often clinical explanations, their interpretation was far more mystical, intertwined with their beliefs about the supernatural and the spirit world. You recall hearing whispered tales of nocturnal visitors, spirits or deities, who would descend upon sleepers during these moments of paralysis, their presence both frightening and strangely fascinating. Imagine the fear, the sense of being trapped, of being watched, of being unable to move or cry out. For the Aztecs, this wasn't just a neurological quirk. It was a profound spiritual experience, often interpreted as an encounter with the otherworldly. Think of the stories surrounding such experiences. Some might have been attributed to malevolent spirits, mischievous entities intent on tormenting sleepers during this vulnerable state. Others, however, might have been seen as visits from protective spirits or deities, their presence interpreted as guidance, warnings, or even blessings. It wasn't just a medical condition, but a mystical experience. The interpretation itself is a reflection of their beliefs and worldview. The jaguar, remember, frequently appears in Aztec mythology associated with the night, dreams, and the liminal spaces between worlds. It's not surprising that the jaguar, with its power and its mystical connection to the underworld, would feature prominently in accounts of sleep paralysis. Imagine sensing the presence of a powerful jaguar, its eyes burning with otherworldly light, its form pressing down on you. A terrifying yet awe-inspiring encounter. The use of obsidian mirrors, remember, also connects to dreams and the subconscious. It's possible that the obsidian mirror, with its mysterious depths, might have been used to interpret the visions and sensations experienced during sleep paralysis, to decipher the messages or warnings that such experiences might have conveyed. The mirror, in this case, isn't just a tool. It's a mediator between worlds. Historians still argue whether the Aztec interpretations of sleep paralysis were solely based on supernatural beliefs or also integrated some understanding of physiological phenomena. It's probable that both elements were intertwined. The Aztecs, despite their advanced understanding of medicine and natural remedies, couldn't explain the phenomenon from a purely physiological standpoint. Therefore, they turned to their rich tapestry of mythology and spiritual beliefs for answers. A quirky detail. Some researchers suggest that the prevalence of sleep paralysis in certain individuals might have elevated them to positions of spiritual authority within their communities. Those frequently experiencing these encounters might have been seen as conduits to the other world, individuals capable of interpreting messages from the spiritual realm. In their perspective, it's not a disorder. It's an ability. The sensation of paralysis slowly recedes, the weight on your chest lifting, the feeling of being trapped disappearing. You're still in that liminal space, not quite awake, not quite asleep, but the unsettling experience is fading. You're left with a lingering sense of wonder, a realization of the mystical depth of the Aztec interpretation of sleep paralysis. It wasn't just a medical condition, it was a spiritual journey, a gateway to the unseen world, an encounter with the power and mystery of the night. And as you drift back into peaceful sleep, you carry the essence of those ancient beliefs with you, understanding that even in the most unsettling experiences, there's always a possibility for profound insight. The lingering unease of sleep paralysis fades, replaced by a sense of quiet reflection. You awaken, not fully, but in that space between worlds, and a thought settles upon you. The legacy of the Aztecs, the lasting influence of their sleep practices on our own modern world. You might not think of it, but their understanding of sleep, their holistic approach to rest, still echoes in our contemporary wellness traditions and herbal remedies. Think of the resurgence of herbal remedies, the growing interest in natural sleep aids. The Aztecs, masters of herbalism, understood the profound connection between plants and human well-being, and their knowledge of herbs for promoting sleep has found a modern echo in the popularity of chamomile tea, lavender essential oils, and other natural sleep aids. We're rediscovering what they knew centuries ago. The power of nature to soothe the mind and body, to gently lull you into the embrace of slumber. Consider the growing popularity of aromatherapy, the use of scents to influence mood and promote relaxation. The Aztecs utilized copal incense and fragrant balms for their calming properties. We now use essential oils and diffusers to achieve similar results. It's a testament to their understanding of the power of scent to influence our emotional and mental states. We've simply rediscovered and refined their ancient techniques. And don't forget the continued use of cacao, not just as a delicious treat, but as a natural mood booster and potential sleep aid. While modern hot chocolate often bears little resemblance to the Aztecs' axolotl, the cacao bean itself, with its natural theobromine, retains its power to promote relaxation and enhance mood, making it a surprisingly effective natural remedy for stress and sleeplessness. We're merely refining what I'd already found. The emphasis on ritual and routine, so central to the Aztec approach to sleep, also resonates with modern wellness practices. Guamzini, Hyandi, Estakdel Sujuri, and Woldeg, Gilor, Chai. Mindfulness practices, meditation, and the growing interest in creating calming bedtime routines all share a common thread with the Aztec focus on preparing the mind and body for sleep. We're learning, once again, the importance of creating a sacred space for sleep, even in our modern, often hectic lives. Historians still argue whether the direct influence of Aztec practices is significant, or if modern practices simply developed along parallel lines, independently rediscovering similar techniques. It's likely a complex combination of both. The Aztecs' practices aren't merely lost to time. They resonate, inspiring the development of similar methods, reminding us of the enduring connection between nature, the senses, and the pursuit of peaceful sleep. A quirky detail: the growing interest in ancient wisdom and traditional healing methods has led to renewed research into Aztec herbalism, prompting ethnobotanical studies that shed new light on their sophisticated understanding of plants. Potential medicinal uses. What was once dismissed as superstition is now being reassessed with modern scientific methods. As you drift deeper into sleep, you realize that the legacy of Aztec sleep practices isn't confined to specific techniques or remedies. It's a broader philosophy, a holistic approach to rest that values the interconnectedness of the mind, body, and spirit, highlighting the importance of creating a calming environment, embracing natural remedies, and cultivating a mindful approach to sleep. And as you fully succumb to slumber, you carry the essence of their wisdom with you, a gentle reminder that the path to restful sleep has always been intertwined with an appreciation of nature, ritual, and the subtle power of the night. The echoes of Aztec wisdom fade, replaced by the gentle rhythm of your breathing. The scent of copal incense, a faint whisper now, mingles with the earthy fragrance of the night. You feel the soft reeds of your petate cradling you, a gentle embrace that soothes your weary body. The weight of the jade jaguar rests lightly on your chest, a comforting presence as you sink deeper into slumber. The sounds of the night, once a symphony of diverse noises, now blend into a calming lullaby. The distant hum of the city, the soft rustle of leaves, the chirping of crickets all combine into a gentle, soothing hum, a natural soundtrack to your peaceful descent into sleep. The sounds are less distinct now, less individual notes, merging instead into a gentle wave, a wash of peaceful sound washing over you. Your mind slows, the thoughts of the day gently receding, fading into the background like distant stars. The anxieties and stresses of daily life melt away, replaced by a quietude, a tranquil stillness that settles over your mind and body like a warm blanket. The worries of your day are no longer a pressing force, but simply echoes, whispers in the distance, no longer capable of keeping you awake. The darkness is not empty. It's filled with a sense of quietude, a profound peace that settles over you, enveloping you in a comforting embrace. It's a darkness not devoid of life, but alive with subtle energies, with the whispers of the night, with the gentle rhythms of nature. The darkness itself is not simply the absence of light, but the presence of tranquility, of deep, profound rest. Your body relaxes, your muscles unwinding, the tension of the day melting away like snow in the spring sun. Each breath is slower, deeper, a gentle ebb and flow that synchronizes with the rhythms of your heart. Your heart itself beats with a calm, steady rhythm, a comforting drumbeat guiding you to a place of deep rest. A gentle rhythm that guides your body towards peaceful slumber. The images of your dreams begin to emerge, soft and indistinct at first, like wisps of clouds drifting across a twilight sky. These images are less urgent, less vivid, gentler, softer than the more intense images that may have come before. The dreams themselves are less defined, less forceful, more calming, more relaxing, allowing you to drift further into a place of rest. The influence of ancient Aztec wisdom lingers, a gentle presence that guides your descent into sleep, a comforting reminder of their holistic approach to rest, their understanding of the interconnectedness of nature, mind, and spirit. The echoes of their methods continue, guiding you to a state of deep and tranquil slumber. You drift deeper, further into the embrace of sleep, the world outside fading into a distant hum, a quiet whisper. The sensations of your body become less distinct, less intense, simply melting into the softness of your pate. All of your senses become less insistent, softening, easing into a state of gentle rest. The subtle energies of the night flow around you, a calming current that carries you gently into the depths of slumber. You are safe. You are warm. You are deeply, peacefully asleep. You are nestled in the soft embrace of night. The comforting weight of the jaguar on your chest, and the whispers of ancient wisdom surrounding you. Rest now. Let the world fade. Let the worries of the day melt away. Let the quietude of the night envelop you. Let the gentle rhythms of your breathing guide you to the deepest, most peaceful sleep. All is well. You are safe. Sleep peacefully. Sleep deep. Sweet dreams. You have